Vibing with the tide. Vibing. Bama pride, it's a whole lot of that on this side. Rolling with the guys. Vibing with the tide. Come on, vibe.
All right, y'all. We are back again, y'all. Man, you already know it's your favorite podcast. I don't want to say Alabama podcast because we obviously got to branch out a little bit. But it's your favorite sports podcast, mainly talking about Alabama, other SEC teams. We are vibing with the Tide right now, man. Jmark, I told you, Jmark. Oh, it's
So
trying
what?
to do. Here we go, y'all. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Yo, man, please bear with me with technical difficulties. However, man, I need to go around and introduce you guys to some of the livest individuals I know in my life. First, we got to start with my brother from another. Yes, we are brothers. However, we can't explain the parent situation. We got Daniel Geddes with me. What's up, family?
What's happening? What's up? What's up?
All right. Now, you know, the livest man I really know in my life. You know, I like to think I had the torch at one time, and then this man snatched it, and he ain't never giving it back, man. Shout out my brother Malik. Big O, how we living, family?
Good, brother, man. Excited for this episode. You know, Alabama been looking good, so I just want to talk about it.
LOL. I'm going to let you actually start it off because we missed a week, but before, I got to give it up for my brother, my twin. Every time y'all see me, y'all see him. We got the co-host with the most, long lost. This is first episode this season. Jmark, what's up, family?
What up, Roll Tide? And fuck Roll Tide Willie. We gave up on Bama.
Everybody giving up on Bama.
Roll Tide Willie gave up on Bama after the first game. We might let him back in.
Soft.
We might. Now, you know, I know it's been a minute, guys, and I'm happy we didn't do the show last week, so I'm not really that mad. I did a little kind of, you know, I was trying to talk, but I just kept getting angry, so I couldn't really do it. But I'm going to let, you know what I'm saying, it's only fair if we let O kind of start off because we didn't see each other last week. So, O, do you have any words you would like to say? You know, I know we hadn't talked, but, you know, it looked like, you know, last week I know you kind of had a great time and didn't get to tap in. So,
Hey,
floor is
listen,
yours.
last week I had a blast. I mentioned earlier that Alabama's kryptonite since I've been crawling has been mobile quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
The BC transfer Calistinos, I know I'm gonna mess with the last name, looked like a madman on the field. It looked like Alabama defense was moving in slow motion. And you know what? Honestly, I felt bad. At a point, I was having fun, and then it was like looking at, you know, the big bad bully in the neighborhood get jumped, and you start to feel bad for him. You know, you start to feel bad for the bully, man, and it's like the effort, the discipline, gap integrity, everything just went out the window against Florida State, man. And it's like I haven't seen Bama play like that, you know, since a kid. And I know a lot of Bama fans was upset and things, and y'all should be, because listen, honestly, now I feel like there's a good conversation go up ahead that is DeVore the one to lead the program. The talent's there. I personally don't think he has the locker room. I know y'all rebound 70 ball on ULM. Congrats. ITT Tech. You know, you should do that. But I don't think this guy
We know y'all damn sure wouldn't do it.
We put up Sandy on Alabama A&M last year with Payne Thorne. So, man, honestly though, man, it's just I don't think he owns the locker room. I remember we talked about that interview with Ty. He was like, you know, to get up for the game, he spoke with Saban, and that stuck with me because I'm like, I understand you got one of the greatest coaches ever lived to be in your back pocket. I get that. But you're going into the season opener, and there's no mention of how you and your head coach has gotten you amped up for this game, has gotten you in the mindset to take over as a starter, right? And quarterback guy, you and the head coach. I mean, of course, you're gonna be close to your quarterback coach, but you and the head coach, man, you're this. Both of you guys are the face of the program, and to not have mention of the war going into that game, it stuck with me. And I'm not saying Ty was the problem, because I mean, I don't think he played bad. Really, the trenches was getting dragged. He didn't really have, you know, Ryan didn't step up. You got Bernard trying to do everything. That's it. But so I'm not gonna put it all on Ty, but honestly, I think it's a culture issue. I love to see it. We had to go through it 4 years with Brian Harsin. So how do you bounce back? How do you continue and finish the season out? You got a gauntlet coming up. I think the remaining 10 games. I think six or like seven of them are ranked games. So
Probably.
I really want to see what Bama gonna do, man. I've been feeling good for the last 2 weeks, but yeah, man, I kind of feel bad. I getting stomped on. All the bandwagon people done left y'all. Just kind
Yeah,
of
you
feel
just
bad
said
for
roll
y'all.
tide, Willie. This is very deserved, guys. I just want to let everybody know this is deserved. But I think it's some sunshine coming. I feel better the more I see Florida State. I think that's a hell of a program bouncing back from a 2-10 season, and hopefully, but there is no excuse for effort, y'all. There is no excuse for effort. When I first saw that game personally, I was, red. I called Jmark. I think I called everyone, and I was just like, "Yo, what exactly is happening?" But the more and more studying I do on what exactly was happening, I'm kind of putting more on it, like on the players. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like that game, like I really seen a lot of guys kind of get punked, and I don't know how you teach a guy to run full speed. I don't know how you teach a guy to, bounce back from an injury and be tough and cover the gap he's supposed to cover and stuff like that. Like, I really think that meltdown, like you said, was the trenches. And it was a couple other people. I mean, it's some rough footage going around in that game. People getting knocked down, players putting their nuts on other people's heads. It's bad. So that's one of those games. If they throw away the footage, or if I feel like if they ever want to motivate the players, we have that game for the rest of the season. So in a weird way, I'm excited to see what we do for the rest of the season, and I'm happy we got that out the way, man. Let's go to Jmark. They haven't heard from you in a minute, brother. Like, what was your thoughts?
I think when Bama scored on the first drive, they didn't think Florida State was gonna punch them back in the mouth. Cause Bama not used to that. When we go down the field and score a drive like that, we're not used to a team coming back and saying, "Hey, we just as tough as big as bad as y'all." So when that happened, they set the tone for the rest of the game. Guys just moving slow, not being physical, hesitant. Offensive line, especially the tackle positions, were kind of play
Jesus.
play really bad. And guys not get doing any effort. That's just that's just I've never seen that before. Especially somebody like Bray Hubbard. Bray, you're not the
Yeah.
biggest, you're not the most physical, you're not the fastest. One thing you gonna have to give is effort, especially at
Mm-hmm.
safety. Especially at safety. That's one thing. If you back there, you're not supposed to let anybody get behind you. You jogging. I don't care if you was on the other side of the field. You supposed to run hard to the ball. That's the first thing you learn in little league football is run hard to the ball. You got people like Keon Sabb too not running hard. The only person I saw who on defense who probably played like effort the whole game was Zabian Brown and probably Quay Russo. Zabian Brown,
Yeah.
he didn't care what it was one play. He was on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
Like the dude was about to score. You can say he about to score, but Zabian Brown was running all the way to the end zone. He knew he wasn't gonna catch him, but he's still running hard. So there's stuff like that. But I think Bama just was surprised. Florida State hit him in the mouth. It's like, okay, y'all hit us. We about to go down the field and score too. Once that happened, Florida State realized they can play with Bama, and Bama just got that.
I think too, to add to what you just said, I want to add LT Overton to somebody I think I saw play pretty decent as well. But I also think that sideline was so dead from what AJ McCarron was telling, like, and everyone was saying how weird the sideline was. And I feel like Tim Keenan was missed so much on that sideline. Just, you know what I'm saying? It looked like everybody was trying to find, like, who's the guy to, pick us back up or tell us, hey, we got this. And I don't know who that guy is, but it looks more and more like it could be Tim Keenan. I like what I'm seeing from Ty moving forward, but we don't know. Daniel, what was your thoughts of the game?
So I had a whole thesis written out and I deleted it. And then I went into the trash can and it said, "Do you want to recover this note?" And I said, "No, I'll delete it forever because I'm too upset about it." But I think what it comes down to, if all things are equal from a talent standpoint and we're just looking at effort, Dan Orlovsky pointed it out, and I've been clinging to it for over a week now. There were 21 loafs recorded on a full film review from first kickoff to the clock going double zeros. 21 loafs on our defense. And again, if all things are the same from a talent standpoint and it comes down to effort, that is why we lost that game. I'm not taking anything away from Tommy Castellanos or any of his supporting cast on offense, and definitely not their defense. They very well have played the ACC champion. That's how I feel about it. Watching Clemson and watching SMU and all these other cats in the ACC, I think
Jesus.
I'll hop off that soapbox for the time being because that's not the question you asked. I,
Straight up.
I think this past Saturday, we resolved the effort issues, the loafs. There weren't as many, and whether it's ULM or think of the cream of the crop program in college football right now, if it's Ohio State, I think we put a better product out there, regardless of who we were lining up against. So that's where I stand at the moment.
Yeah, I agree as well. I'm happy we're past this as a unit. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to move past it. And
I don't think I'm not gonna say we pass until we play Wisconsin and Georgia. See how we look against them. I'm not.
and
I'm glad we beat ULM. I wanted a blowout. We got a blowout. But I want to see how we play against Wisconsin and Georgia first before I
I
say
think we
all that is
have,
passes.
and that's actually a perfect segue because looking at the SEC and everything right now, I think Georgia loses this week to Tennessee, which I hate because I feel like if we had Georgia next week, I'm picking us. Georgia is not looking good. 28-3 to Austin PEA. Like Georgia
Yeah.
right now, and they threw the ball over 30 times too. So it wasn't like they weren't trying to blow these guys out. Like Ty just did 17 for 17, and we was up 40 something to 0, fam. Like you feel me? Throwing the ball 30 times and you only got a 28-3 win to the team you were supposed to beat by, if I'm not mistaken, 35, 40 in that range.
But Georgia known for kind of sometimes playing down to their opponent. They do the same thing with Georgia Tech. They'll have a close game against Georgia Tech. Next thing you know, they'll blow out SEC team like Florida or something.
But
So
we still beat them last year. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
know,
it's
but
like if
also
you're
that gives
going.
them more motivation to come beat us in their house.
No, I'm saying this, that if we, the same thing we're saying is that we see them playing down, or if we see a crack in the armor, this is our opportunity. Now, what scares me is that they play Tennessee first. That's what scares me because if Tennessee beats them, I agree. Right now, they're out for blood, we're out for blood. And it's an away game for us. That's what scares me. But if we had them this week, I actually would be a little more encouraged. Daniel, I see you about to say something. What's up, brother?
I just saw a headline that has nothing to do with any of this. Tank Bigsby going to the Eagles.
They traded for Tank Bigsby. The Eagles
Yeah,
did.
he's going to
Jesus.
Philly. Sorry.
Tank is going to the Eagles.
Yes, sir.
How much help
Jacksonville.
do they
Man,
need
all
for
right.
a running back? Jesus.
Uh,
So now they mixing Auburn, Alabama,
and I love
Georgia.
that kid. They the SEC Eagles.
Yes, they are
SEC
SEC
Eagles.
Eagles. That's a great
I'm
name for
sorry.
them.
I got to
Nah,
turn my
that's
banner notifications off. Too
That's
no.
distracting.
We
crazy.
just broke the news, everyone. So vibing with the tide, we just broke the news. Tank Bigsby is a Philadelphia Eagle, just like Mechie is, and hopefully they get in the game soon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. But as far as looking out in the SEC, some other things that I was seeing, I definitely feel like Georgia is probably one of the teams I'm unimpressed with. I kind of see Texas right now trying to find themselves. I don't see Ark Manning necessarily being a big issue as much as I see he doesn't have any receivers. So I really don't know who to, in their situation. I'm very impressed with the kid from Oklahoma. He
John
is a
Mateer.
dog. He's Johnny Manziel. Let's improvise. Like that's a monster. I'm very excited when we get Auburn versus Oklahoma. That game's coming very soon, so I can't wait to see that. But I got to see Oklahoma versus Michigan. I was very impressed with them. Who are some people in the SEC you feel like you're impressed with? Auburn, y'all doing y'all thing a little bit, man. I ain't gonna hate. Y'all doing
Man,
y'all
listen.
thing.
I got, the bias in my heart always wants to put Auburn first. Honestly, I got LSU. I think LSU is the most
Mm,
complete team in the
yeah,
SEC.
having a defense this
Oklahoma,
year.
yeah, exactly. That defense is playing a lot better. That was the bane of their existence the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, last two
Yeah.
3 years, you put a competent defense on the LSU team. Those teams
Jesus.
with Jay,
That's
they're
championship
they're
championship
championship
teams.
contenders, right? And
Easily.
so So I got LSU. I do like John Mateer. You know, I wanted Auburn to get him. I was big on him in the offseason when
That
that
would have been
transfer came in.
insane if he
You know,
came to Auburn.
I
Jesus.
really wanted him. I really wanted him. So Oklahoma, I definitely think Oklahoma will be a decent team. I think they're beatable.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Tennessee looks decent. I haven't really seen them against any competition to really rank where they may be at.
Yeah,
Georgia doesn't look like the Georgia we've seen.
for sure.
So I do think LSU is setting themselves apart from the rest of the SEC right now. Texas, I'm not worried about at all. Arch is
Yeah,
going to roll into a SEC game night on the road against a good SEC defense, and he's going to fall apart. I don't think this
yeah.
year is Arch's year. He comes back next year, maybe a lot more polished. Maybe Texas is better, gelled
I
more
like that.
with his weapons next year. But I see LSU setting themselves apart, and after that, it's a race to who's two. You know, whether
Yeah.
that's Georgia, whether that's Tennessee, if they're actually decent, Oklahoma. I'm gonna keep Auburn in there until we lose. If Bama bounces back and plays like who they can be, but I think it's a race to two, and LSU it's their race to lose right now.
And the weird part about LSU, y'all, running game looks better. It could just be me, but their pass game isn't like as dangerous as it used. Like I don't see no first round receivers right now. I like the tight end, the big tight end, but I really don't see no like it. Like I was very unimpressed this weekend them not being able to beat Louisiana Tech by 35. Like you know what I'm saying? Defense played lights out. They had a couple struggles. We're seeing Clemson really ain't that good with struggling with Troy 10-0. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know how first week is, y'all. It's a lot of overreactions. We don't know who is who and things like that. LSU one game against Clemson. We were ready. Yeah, a lot of people were ready to announce them as the champions. You know what I'm saying? But week two against Louisiana Tech, we're seeing this. And really, the team that I want us to talk about a little bit is Florida. Jesus, guys. And let me also add South Carolina. Those two have been looking very unimpressive. Very unimpressive. I watched the game. I am a huge Sellers fan. Everybody knows that. I don't think South Carolina and Florida are fighting for worst pass game in the SEC right now. It is non-existent. Like if Sellers didn't hit that go route against what was that, Virginia Tech? Shit, they might still be playing right now. Hell, we don't know. Like it's pretty rough. And then Lagway for Florida, I feel bad for him because he got receivers dropping the ball and things like that. It's like he's the only offensive player they got. So South Carolina, I'm not as scared of. Florida, they gonna have to do some real soul searching. I think their coach is on the hot seat. I could be wrong. I really feel like they're gonna put him on the hot seat.
He definitely on it already.
Yeah,
Already.
Right now it's cheap. They got to pay him
Yeah.
5.5 million in the first 30 days, and then
easy.
they can amortize the other 5.5 million over the course of 5 years, paid
Yeah,
Okay.
annually. So it's just a matter of if he doesn't make something happen by the end of like 2 weeks from now. I'm not even saying end of September. He's got two
yeah.
weeks to right the ship, or he's out.
He needs, yeah, he needs a W bad. But South Carolina, I love their coach. But to see them play South Carolina State and then even Virginia Tech, we're talking about special teams and defense really did most of the work to put points on the board. And Sellers, who was a Heisman candidate, he's looking terrible. He's averaging like 125 yards a game passing. Like, and we talking about that's with the go ball. That's not good at all. He's not connecting on easy throws. I'm talking about slants. Like, man, they look pretty bad too. So I know each week everyone has the opportunity to get better. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping they take these opportunities outside of Oklahoma. That I mean, I got Mateer as my Heisman candidate. Is anybody seeing anybody worth mentioning for Heisman so far?
I got two, and they're not even in the SEC. So right now, I think that the SEC is very mid right now, just
It's a safe word.
as a whole. So I'm looking at Devin Dampier at Utah and Dante Moore
Mm,
at Oregon. So
mm,
right now, and it's too early to tell, but Devin Dampier, 398 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no INTs, 112 rushing, and he's averaged on almost
Jesus.
6 yards per rush. And then Dante at Oregon, they just had a field day on Oklahoma State, but 479 passing, 6 touchdowns, no INTs. They're both prolific. They're in prolific offenses. So
Yeah.
Right now, for me, the hardware is somewhere out on the West Coast. It ain't the Southeast.
Yeah, Malik, anybody?
Man, no. So I'm an SEC bias guy, but I definitely like Devin out in Utah. I've seen him.
Mm-hmm.
We Auburn knows him well. He gave us hell with. I think he was at New Mexico State.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, and he was he gave us hell then, and so he's been a good player. I would love to see him actually get it, but yeah, I'm SEC biased. I got Mateer. I think they come through. And outside of that, Smith he hasn't got going just yet. Jeremiah Smith hasn't got going. I don't. Cade Kublik, I think he's completely out. Nuss, if LSU wins the way that they've been winning, I don't think he wins it either. Just like you
Yeah.
mentioned, they don't have a Malik Neighbors or anyone else that they've had like a star-studded wide receiver one. It's kind of a group effort. So I think they're just a balanced
Mm-hmm.
team. So you're just talking about one player that can stand out. In SEC, I'm gonna say Mateer, and then yeah, outside of that, I would lean on Devin as well.
If I'm not mistaken, LSU's ex is Aaron Anderson, and he's like small. Yeah, if I'm not, I could be. You
He was
know,
at Bama.
I remember, and that's their ex right now, and he's not a bad player. It's just he's not what we've been seeing. You know what I'm saying? So maybe they got a breakout player or something like that, man. But I really don't know. Like I said, Mateer is impressive, but I mean, we finna see him going against a real defense in a couple weeks. Not to take away from Michigan, but I gotta see him if he does all that running, throwing stuff against Auburn. You got my eyes open a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what you're gonna do to Alabama. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to us. I'm just saying, like, I need to see, is he really that guy? And I just love the headlines of Auburn and Oklahoma with you guys quarterback being at Oklahoma last year. So it's gonna be a lot of emotional football.
Oh
You
yeah, the
know.
storylines are there. They're trying to paint us out as this. I've seen the headlines like this is this a budding rival, and I'm not gonna say that. Like I think we take rivalry serious in SEC. I mean, you guys got us. We threw a couple bad balls last year with Payne Thorne, and you get us late. But I don't think this is a budding rival. But I do think the storylines this year align. Freeze got to win this game. You got the castaway and Jackson Arnold. We went after Mateer. It's like, did they take who was supposed to bring us to the promised land away from us? So yeah, it's some storylines. I'm worried about going into Norman. I'll be honest. The defense is well experienced. I think they returned like 7 or 8 seniors. I'm not seniors, starters back on that defense this year.
Oklahoma or y'all?
Oklahoma.
Okay.
So their defense is experienced. They're gonna be playing at home. That crowd hates Jackson Arnold. I've grown to like him. I have grown to like him, but watching him this past week, he holds on to the ball really long, a little bit longer than I would appreciate. We missed some open guys because he's trying to make plays, playing hero
Yeah.
ball a little bit. O
Yeah.
line in the beginning of that first drive, they kind of reverted back to last year, and then they kind of got their wits about him later on in the game. But he's going into a hostile environment that hates him. I do see an ego in him, a little bit like a
He's
Baker
already,
Mayfield. Yeah,
he already
and I
dancing.
yeah,
I see it.
and I don't want him to go in and play. He just tried to play hero ball at home against Ball State.
Mhm.
So he goes in Oklahoma and tries to prove himself to everybody. He's gonna throw 2 or 3 picks against that defense. So I'm worried about
Hey,
that
I'm
game.
I'm gonna throw this out there. If it's not Texas Tech and Utah, I think that's the game day destination in Norman for that Auburn
Yeah,
game.
no,
Mhm.
for sure. And it's another one, guys. Next week, I think this is crazy that this is a matchup for me to say. I think Vanderbilt and South Carolina play each other.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
yeah they do.
actually a great test because I actually think Vanderbilt wins. Like, you know what I'm saying, in a weird way. So we gotta see Vanderbilt. They came back and man, the quarterback threw a hell of a ball. If I'm not mistaken, Vanderbilt was playing Virginia Tech and
Yep.
Hmm.
end up beating them by 20 in the fourth
Yeah,
quarter. Just kind of laid it on them. So
yeah.
that's
Love and
that's
hate
gonna be
Diego.
interesting. Yeah, man, we got some good football this weekend. I'm excited, man, especially
Yep.
SEC. So we gonna be good. We gonna be good, man. So I think now we didn't had enough of all this Auburn, all this crazy talk. Malik, you welcome to stay if you want to. And we finna go into the Alabama stuff. I ain't gonna say you gotta leave, but if you want to stay for the Alabama, cool. If not, I know what type of life you live. I'm praying for you, praying for change, and I'm praying for you to, what I'm saying, mature into the young man I know you can be.
You know, I'm gonna let y'all boys have your Alabama talk. I know y'all gotta, lick some wounds and got some chores to do around the crib, just tidy some stuff up. It's a
All
real
right,
cool
brother.
night.
LOL, man. Great job, brother. I will probably hear from you. Well, I'll see you later this week for sure. But yeah, man, appreciate you. Great
Man,
analyst, man. Shout out my brother Malik, y'all, man.
man, appreciate y'all boys, man. Y'all boys take it easy,
Goddamn.
man, for sure.
Yes, sir. Take care, bro.
All right, man. Now it's time to do it, man. It's time to really vibe with the Tide now, man. We got rid of Malik. Now we can talk some Alabama football. Shall we, fellas?
Let's
So
run it.
let's go with the first thing. All right, Alabama, we just beat the brakes off these guys 73-0. Honestly, even though I predicted 49-7, I actually wanted to go 63 to something, but I didn't say it because we looked a little too cocky with our score predictions last week. So I kind of held back a little bit. However, in this game, I like to do kind of a little SWOT analysis. I'm gonna start with Jmark. What were some of the strengths you saw this game that you liked with us versus Louisiana Monroe?
I like that we got a lot of the receivers involved. That shows you that we can throw the ball around, pass, spread it around. Also, just going to help out Ryan Williams when he get back because if he can get some one on ones, it make it easier for him to get open. So just make the team better. That's what I like the most. Our strength is getting the ball to a lot of receivers, getting them touching the ball, get their confidence up. So we go into Wisconsin's and Georgia's, they feel confident going out there, catching the ball and get some yak yards and getting open in zones and all this stuff. So that's my main strength I like.
Yeah, Daniel, what about you? Any strengths you saw?
Yeah, aside from Ty's efficiency, it was his being selective and hitting open receiver. I think 11 different guys caught a ball,
Yeah,
and all but three of those had multiple catches. And I know that that's abnormal because of who the opponent was. It's kind of hard to spread the love around like that against the SEC opponent, but seeing lots of people touch the ball was a good sight.
yeah. For me, I agree. I love what you both said about Ty. First off, shout out Ty Simpson for breaking Alabama single game completion record, going 17-17. Does anybody know the last person to actually hold that record out of you two? Do you anybody know?
Probably AJ or some shit.
Who you got, Daniel?
And
It's
not Brody Croyle.
Bryce Young, guys. He
Bryce
did
Young.
15
Wow.
completions against Southern Miss. So when people say Bryce is the best, that's what they are talking about, you know.
Very nice.
So my strength I want to go with was defensively, the three and outs. I loved what I seen from the defensive line. We had 12 tackle for losses. However, we had 0 sacks, which is the weirdest game I think you could even say from a statue. I love seeing everybody involved. I love the morale. And mainly I just love them answering back. You know, they're in a position where everybody had questions of people's toughness, of people, are you guys even here for the right reason, things like that. And they answered back, and they did. A lot of people can say we gotta wait, but we all know this is a week by week journey. So they answered the question for this first week, man. So if there is a weakness, let's go backwards. So we're gonna start with Daniel. Was there a weakness you felt like?
I think the weakness, and I'm going to kind of go back to what I alluded to earlier. I think the weakness is going to be our effort. We if we buy into our own hype too much, it gets easier to lose that edge, to lose that hunger. So I think the weakness going forward is going to be keeping our egos in check and actually giving. If the gun's in your hand, empty the clip. If your foot's on the gas, empty the tank. To give anything less than 100% is unacceptable, and you can get yourself on the sideline. So I think it's just going to be giving maximum effort is what can potentially be our weakness.
Jay Easy, what you thinking?
If I'm looking for just this game, I say weakness is Cole Adams getting clotheslined by the damn punter.
How about it, bud? I was gonna ask like, what's our favorite like play? That was hilarious.
I was like, Cole. I thought Cole. I said, okay, this good, Cole. That punter said, hell no. He
Got
closed
to get in the
him.
weight
He
room.
clotheslined him like he was in
Cole.
goddamn WWE in the '90s, guy.
I'm not gonna lie though. If you a punter and you one of them punters that be staying and doing the weightlifting and all that, like you got opportunity to really
Man, I'm talking about.
man.
I think Cole Adams. Then he flipped like his his
Yeah.
feet went into the air. Then he closed.
Hmm.
That was
I was
nasty.
like, hey, we had to fight after that. I don't give a
Yeah, he got.
damn. You got to have to
Especially
just.
after everyone's challenged your toughness. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he.
That's
That
pretty
probably the
funny.
best play. ULM had all game was just that clothesline.
They didn't care after that. Let's pack it up and get
They,
our $1 million and go home.
Hmm.
but I will say, one thing I would want to see is a weakness that I've seen like the past 2-3 years that I want us to try to do more is get more turnovers. This game we got a couple
We
turnovers,
got
but I
3
want to see
this
us.
game.
I want us to. I've known Bama defenses to get turnovers, especially in opportune and big moments. We used to get turnovers on defense, so I want us to build on getting turnovers in games and getting the ball back in good field position and getting off the field.
I ain't gonna lie, man. That was some historical defenses we talking about when we were getting even then. But man, you're right. I was very content and happy with the 3 and outs. I was very happy just to see it. I will say for me, the weakness that I don't like, I love Kevin Riley coming in the game, getting a 20-yard run. I hate us taking him out and then going to Richard Young real fast. And I do want us to establish the run. And it looks like I could be wrong. I feel like Kevin Riley may be our best running back as far as like right now running the actual ball. Like I'm seeing the grit he has and he just fits right now. But I see in the future that AK Deer is really the type of
Yes,
running
sir.
back that fits what DeBoer wants to do. DeBoer wants the small, fast one that you can throw the ball to, but also he's a home run hitter. And I understand, like I understood at the end of the game when I'm seeing Keelan Russell and I'm seeing AK Deer, I was like, this is the future of Alabama offense that he wants. And I'm like, I get it. I get it, DeBoer. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Did anybody else look at it? I'm gonna just switch. Yeah, it was straight opportunities right now anyway. So the opportunity I saw was, like I said, even though it's a weakness as far as the running game currently, I did see the opportunity in the future of man, Keelan Russell and AK Deer, those players coming up the pipeline and how good they look. Let's just focus on Keelan Russell right now. What did you like from Keelan Russell? I'm gonna start with Jmark.
I like his poise in the pocket as a young guy, as a true freshman, having that poise, being able to keep his eyes down the field when he's trying to, come up in the pocket, not getting his eyes down, and then missing somebody wide open. He could have easily missed that throw to Cole Adams, just trying to escape and just getting sacked. We kept his eyes downfield and threw the ball. I also like that throw to MJ Cherwin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his one catch.
That was probably the best throw out the whole game because he had to put that on the money in the right spot between two defenders. It was just a great throw.
I think my favorite throw, and I'm gonna go to Daniel for Keelan Russell, was the one that got taken back with Bernard with Ty scrambling, and then he just launched it, and I also like him turning around and throwing it to Isaiah Horton. I felt like that was a tight window. I felt like Ty looked way better moving and throwing the ball. I felt like that was a huge weakness first week. But Daniel, I want to hear what you think about Keelan Russell.
Yeah, I think I don't want to assume that DeBoer is going to still be in the saddle, you know, 2 years from now. But let's go ahead and say that he is for conversation's sake.
LOL.
I know. I mean, you just never know these days. But DeBoer's ability to develop and groom a quarterback, we saw what he did with Penix. Penix was virtually unknown before he
Hmm.
came on the scene in Indiana, and he continued to do that with the lefty. And I think that he can take on the project that is Keelan Russell and do the same thing and turn this kid into just a dual threat machine. To answer the question, what I liked about what I saw Saturday doesn't show up in the box score, doesn't show up as a stat, but it was
Hmm.
his ability as a young man to
Yeah.
be poised. His eyes never got big. Like the camera zoomed in, kind of panned to
Yeah.
him a couple times pre-snap, and dude was cool as a cucumber. So what I like is just his poise, the grace that he handled the ball with in the pocket, out of the pocket a couple times, and just being decisive.
Yeah.
Did a really good job with that.
And I got a topic I'm gonna go into after that. I also want to shout out my boy. I mean, the whole receiving core. We have, I feel like, the most dangerous receiving core and the deepest receiving core in the SEC, like easily, because we have the Rico Scotts, we have the Brooks, We have, and this leads straight into my question: is how does this offense look when Ryan gets back? Do we see Ryan in the slot? Do we like what Ryan sees in the slot? And let's just be real. You know what I'm saying? Another conversation going on is, was AJ McCarron's words fair or out of bounds of what he said about Ryan Williams? I personally hope Ryan Williams takes it and he feeds off that. McCarron is an Alabama legend, no matter what. You can talk about his pro career, whatever, but I feel like AJ has some words of encouragement. I watch Ryan Williams podcast all the time. I definitely feel like Ryan, he's getting to a point where the main thing isn't the main thing all the time. I can't prove that. I'm just saying, in my opinion, when I hear him talk about winning the Heisman or getting this award, he's talking like he's playing NCAA a lot of the time, and he's not. I'm not seeing this on the field actually convert. So I know I did kind of two questions, but I'm gonna go to Daniel and I'm gonna work back to Jmark. So Daniel, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so let's start off with AJ's comments is warranted in my opinion, but it's B sci-fi all day. This is a fraternity, and it comes from a place of like tough love, hard love, because
For sure.
AJ, what you're not gonna get AJ to say or admit, cameras on or off, is I want Ryan Williams to fail. That is not the case. This is,
For
we
sure.
folks like AJ were there when the Saban era started, that legacy of winning championships or at least competing for them. So I know he wants to see Ryan win, so we'll set that aside. Second thing is, I personally don't mind, painting fingernails, carrying a stuffed T-Rex in the podcast. I mean, all these extracurriculars, I don't mind them, and I don't even mind you associating them with your on-field play. But when you let that overshadow what you're doing on the field and it makes us all think that you were distracted, that's when I have a problem with it. So continue to do it, young man, but make sure that you can, make sure that it doesn't affect your productivity on the field.
Yeah, for sure. Jmark.
I agree. What AJ said was definitely warranted. It definitely wasn't wrong at all. I feel like um, Ryan can play a lot better. I think Ryan has to realize this isn't high school. You gotta sharpen your tools, sharpen your tools, your toolbox, especially as a receiver. Because just being athletic is not going to get it, especially in the SEC. I think in high school he was just better than everybody. He didn't get touched, he didn't get tackled because he was better than everybody. I think when he goes across that middle, he sees that safety coming, or he thinks the safety coming, and he just tenses up and he can't catch the ball. So once he realizes you're going to get hit, this is football, you're going to get hit, especially college football, you're going to get hit. You go to the pros, you're going to get hit. You got to make those tough catches. But I think he will get better. I think Ryan can be a great Alabama receiver, but I just think he just needs to sharpen his tools a little bit. When it comes to all the podcasts and stuff, as long like Daniel said, as long as you out there performing, people ain't gonna talk about what you're not doing. They're gonna be talking about you as a football player. It's just gonna make the podcast bigger. It's gonna make people want to paint their fingernails and carry stuffed animals. You may get a brand deal with a stuffed animal company or something, but if you ain't performing, that stuff ain't gonna happen. Trust me. You ain't gonna get all the people gonna love you one day because you're doing well, but as soon as you start messing up, people gonna forget all about that stuff.
So does anyone know Ryan Williams' last 100-yard game or his last touchdown?
Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia guy.
Yeah, I know his last touchdown is Vanderbilt, but Georgia, I know complete game for sure. It's if we think about how long ago that was, you know what I'm saying? For me personally, that's why I want him to challenge himself. I don't even know why he's taking it that negative, to be honest, because you had a drop problem, in October leading to the end, and then you start your first game out with 3 drops in concussion protocol. And I think the person who right now who's amazing me is Jeremy Bernard, because he can carry this role. Like, he could be a 100-yard receiver for us easily and step in that role. And it's like, we need you guys to complement each other, which you guys do a great job of. But it's like, hey man, like, these both are problems right here. So Ty Simpson has a great core. Jesus, Alabama has some tools that they get to play with and use. So I'm looking forward to see how this continues. Cause I don't see an SEC punch that should be better than Ryan and Jeremy Bernard. Just
But I
honestly.
think I think that's the Because the other receivers get more involved. It's going to help Ryan do more because I don't know if he always get double teamed, but you can't double team him if you got Jeremy Bernard, Lacia Brooks, Rico Scott, Isaiah Horde also getting the ball because you
Oh
can't
yeah.
just focus on one person. So it should open up the field for Ryan. So I think the slot would be perfect for him. Other receivers can get involved. So
Yeah, yeah. As long as he catch it, yeah, as long as he catch that rock, it's endless opportunities. If you don't catch the ball, it's gonna be a long. I hope this. I don't see this drop thing being something permanent or anything, but I'm excited. Do we have him this week out of concussion protocol this week, or is he still in there? Does anybody
Yeah,
know?
Jeff Allen hasn't moved him out of concussion protocol yet. Hasn't confirmed anything, but I feel like by Wednesday, we'll have a pretty good idea whether or not he's going to be playing Saturday.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, guys, we're gonna move on. And my bad, Daniel. My bad. We didn't play the game with Jmark, and that's on me, man. Do you
Hey,
remember
it's
what
all
number you
good.
picked? Do you remember what number you picked last time? Was it 14
I
or
picked
something?
I picked I picked five. We were talking about Cyrus Jones and
Five.
Brandon
It was
Brooks.
5. All right. So Jmark, pick a number 1 through 20, and it cannot be the number 5. Go.
10.
All right. I mean, it's gonna be obvious, right? So we gotta go and name our favorite Alabama player with the number 10. Can I start? Because everybody knows mine. If I'm not mistaken, Reuben Foster, was he 10?
He was.
Reuben Foster. I'm going Reuben Foster, one of the hardest hitting Alabama players of all time. How we miss you at middle linebacker, brother. But man, I'm going Reuben Foster, man. J. Mark Daniel. It's one guy I know in my head that I know one of you guys are gonna say. So I'm very curious to see can we all pick one. So who's next?
I was gonna say Ruben Foster, but I'm just gonna go Mac Jones.
Oh, you and Matt Jones. Okay, okay. I'm not mad at that. Matt Jones is definitely a legend.
Heisman Trophy winner, not but national championship winner as starting
Yeah.
quarterback.
Nah, Matt's a legend. You know what I'm saying? Who you going, Dan?
I'm gonna
Justin
go with
Jefferson.
nah. That boy got he got sat down like he needed to go to timeout
He
by
got
Florida
interception
State.
this game though. He got
I
interception
don't
this game.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
hey,
care. I
Louisiana
don't care.
Monroe. Good job. That's
They
good to
played
see that.
that was Eccles Middle School. Do something nice
Yeah.
later on down the road.
Oh man,
Who
I'm
you
gonna go
got
with
at 10?
I'm gonna go with AJ.
I just knew that's who the obvious pick was. I did not. I thought AJ was gonna be the first one. So that's what I
I,
thought. Yeah.
I don't know how you don't. First of all, I think he's still a serviceable quarterback. I think he could
Mm-hmm.
be a QB2 for at least 6 teams in the league right now. He could go to Miami and start today. I love Tua. There's
Jesus.
so many intangibles that I love about Tua, but AJ can start today. But I mean, you think about somebody that was there at the beginning of the Saban era, was
Mm-hmm.
there for 5 years
Three
and
championships
3 championships and led us to two out of the three.
back to back, if I'm not
Back.
mistaken.
That's what the good theologian Drake said. Back to back. Yes, sir.
Amen.
So I'm gonna go with I'm gonna.
Great job, guys. I was nervous. I'm happy he thought of Matt Jones because I did not know a third person. That's why I had to hurry up and say Ruben. Because if it was on me for the last pick, we would have been sitting here for a minute at number 10. Great job, guys. All three serviceable players, great legends, all three of them legends, all three of them champions. You know what I'm saying? So, how we miss all three of these players? Crazy, right? But next week, or this coming week, we do have Wisconsin's coming to town. Wisconsin should be a little angry because the last time Alabama danced, I think, was at Wisconsin doing the jump around, jump. So we got them at home this week. I'm not necessarily nervous. Any predictions, score predictions, or anything? I'm going to go 35-10 is my prediction. Last year, I actually guessed it right. Yeah, that's my only time I ever did a score prediction and guessed it right was Wisconsin game. But I'm gonna go 35-10 this week. My bad. J Mark.
I'll go 24-13.
You think we have a
L-
close game with them?
Low scoring.
I just want to see how I want to see we got to get that same effort. I don't know. Hopefully our offense can put up more points, but I just wanted to give a lot of effort and win. I don't need this game to be a blowout.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 48-13. I think they get in the red zone once and come away with a field goal. They end up kicking another field goal. They get in the paint one time late. I think
Mm,
a lot of what we saw against Louisiana Monroe carries over.
yeah.
I think DeBoer does a good job of keeping his foot on the gas and letting the offense do their thing for 60 minutes, not getting complacent or comfortable in the fourth quarter. So I feel another 45 plus point performance coming from our offense.
I wouldn't be surprised. Wisconsin's defense, the last two games, which are nobodies, they've held teams to 10 points and then zero. They won 17-0 to a bad team. But right now, where our offense is, and I love what I'm seeing from Ty Simpson, I just want to see the run game, evolve a little bit. I think this is going to be the week we see, a little more, what would I say? A little more just kind of I won't say confidence, but focus on the run a little bit more. But one thing I do like about the boy, he's not scared. He's like, yo, Ty, go to work, bro. You can do this. If Ty can play like that every week, I have no problem with Ty. I have no issue with Ty. And the best part, which I hope nothing happens, we are confident on Ty's backups. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Austin Mack got to come into the game, I don't think it's a huge drop off. It's a drop off for sure, but he's not as mobile, and he's got an arm as a rocket. Some of his throws he may kind of throw it too hard, maybe if that's an issue. But even after that, we got our secret weapon as a freshman who we need to let him develop. We're not saying he's ready for the lights yet, but I agree. I picked 35-10. That's only 5 touchdowns. I definitely could see it going higher. Last year, I think we won 42-10. I think so. Was our score last year? I see it carrying. It's a home game for us, so that's why I'm really not worried about it. If it was a road game, maybe it would get to us, but nah, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited. I think that the future is looking bright. We were scared that first game, but I mean, look at us now, man. Any closing words, man? I'm gonna start with Daniel.
Yeah, I'm going to talk specifically about the run game. For weeks 1 and 2, it's pretty much been a running back by committee approach. One thing that I don't want us to do is overlook the man coming back, Jam.
Yeah,
He's got a really good shot of being cleared from his collarbone injury. He's got a good chance of being cleared on that this week if they want to use him.
Jesus,
I
Jesus.
could I could see DeBoer holding off and waiting for him to be plugged in Athens on the 26th, but he very well could play this week. And I think what's going to happen when he does come back is we get away from the committee approach, and Jam's going to see 15, 18 touches per game, both in the run game and as a pass catcher. So be on the lookout for that.
Yo, to add to what you just said, I didn't realize it, but if you look at Ryan Grubb's offense, the running back is actually the first like option in a lot of the pass plays.
Kenneth
So
Walker.
yeah, I didn't notice that. Yep. So it's I just noticed that this past week. So that's very interesting. Jmark, what's your closing words, brother? And welcome back too, man. Hell of a first episode. Back.
I was pretty much gonna say the same thing about Jam Miller because anybody know me, I'm a Jam Miller fan. I think Jam Miller is a great running back. Daniel, you took mine, so I just concur with what Daniel say. And welcome back, Jam. Hopefully we ramp him up. Hopefully we don't wait till Georgia. Hopefully he can get in Wisconsin, get probably some limited touches, but just to get hit and get his body ready for a football game.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad if Jam came back with a committee approach. I just don't want to see no committee against Georgia. I want
Nope.
us to get I want us to go fight. You know what I'm saying? Not like, hey, you get some of that. All right, I'm getting back in. I don't want us to take that approach, but feel confident about this week. I'm excited for a lot of things that is going to transpire as far as this week with football and everything. So yeah, guys, we are and thank you guys for listening in this week. If you're still listening, I got to shout out the twins who are in my bag. They are all the way in Oakland, man. They were commenting and gave us love, saying how much they enjoyed the first episode, man. They were even talking about what we said about Auburn and everything. So I want to shout out Ernie and Adia. If you guys are listening, hey, if you guys are listening to the podcast, let us know We gonna shout you out. We gonna show love, man. And I want to say subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. I don't care if it's YouTube, if it's on Spotify, Apple. You pick, just subscribe, guys. I got the best co-host in the world. Welcome back, Jmark. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you to my brother Big O. And we gonna see you guys next week, man. So y'all have a good one, man. Vibing with the tide. We out.
Big Bama.
All right. Roll Tide.
Vibing, vibing with the tide. Vibing. Bama pride is so